everyone, I am Megan Lane. I am the author of Verbal Abuse and Relationships blog at HealthyPlace. Today I wanted to talk about my feelings and whether or not they are valid. So when I am in a relationship with somebody who suffers from a mental illness such as bipolar disorder, when that person is experiencing mania and that mania causes them to become more irritable, when we get into an argument and they become verbally aggressive and verbally abusive, am I entitled to be upset? So if the anger and the verbal abuse is a direct result of my partner's mental illness, am I entitled to be sad or angry or disappointed? A lot of the times, because I suffer from low self-esteem, I feel like I'm not entitled to be upset and I feel like my feelings aren't valid. But the truth is that they are. And your feelings and my feelings, no matter what the situation is, they're always valid because they belong to us. We're allowed to feel how we want to feel. Of course, we should always respond and treat people with the respect that we want to be treated with, but our feelings, no matter what, are valid. So as I've said, I'm dating again. I left my husband of 8 years, and I'm in a new relationship. So I don't want to repeat the same mistakes where I get verbally abused, I let it happen, I pretend I forgive and forget, and then I push my feelings deep down inside and they just eat me alive. My therapist, of course, she told me that my feelings are always valid, but she also told me that one of the most important things that I need to do is set boundaries. And even more important than setting boundaries is sticking with the boundaries that I set. So if I set a specific boundary and then my partner crosses that boundary and he's aware of the boundary because I've made it, verbally spoken, I can't just say nothing. And it's really hard for me to say nothing it's really hard for me to say something because I'm afraid if I say, hey, listen, you weren't supposed to do that and you did, I'm afraid it's going to cause an argument. And then because of all of my past relationships, I'm afraid that that argument is going to turn into a verbally abusive encounter. And I'm terrified of that. And I shouldn't have to live in fear. And none of you guys should have to live in fear either. So the most important thing that anybody could do in a relationship, aside from healthy communication, is, setting boundaries and adhering to them, because that's, that kind of holds a relationship together. And, sometimes there's unspoken boundaries, but some boundaries we need to vocalize and we need to make them known. And when they're crossed or violated, we have a right to feel upset. I have a right to feel upset. And I just, that's my goal for this week, is to continue to set boundaries and to continue to voice my feelings and to not be afraid, because in a healthy relationship, an argument or a verbally abusive encounter will not ensue simply because I stood up for myself or spoke my mind. And anybody else who has, been through verbal abuse, or anybody else who is currently enduring verbal abuse and is quarantined with an abuser, I hope that all of you can, do the same thing this week and set your goal as, setting boundaries. Thank you so much. I hope all of you have a great week.